Here we have another example using the world famous AP Calculus particle that moves along a straight line, that moves along an x-axis. So here our particle is moving along the axis and its position is given by the equation x of t, and then the derivative of that position function is given here. Then they're asking us to determine the acceleration of the particle and when the acceleration of the particle is equal to 0. Well, that means we need to know the physics relationship. So there's a classic physics relationship that you just have to know when you go in to take this test like the back of your hand, because I guarantee you it's going to come up on at least one problem, if not more. So the relationship they want us to know is that if our original function is equal to the position, then the first derivative of position is equal to velocity. And then the second derivative of position, the first derivative of velocity, is equal to acceleration. So what this problem is asking us to find is it wants to know when is the acceleration here. When does that acceleration equal 0? So we want to know when does a of t equal 0. Well, they're starting us in this problem with the derivative of our position function. So they're actually starting us right here with the velocity equation. So what we're going to need to do is take the derivative of our velocity equation, and when we do that, that's going to get us the acceleration equation that we need to know when it equals 0. So we'll do that here. So we start off, they give us dx dt is equal to negative 5t to the fourth plus 2t squared plus 7t. And we need to find the derivative of that. The derivative of that will give us our acceleration equation. I'm just going to go ahead and call it a of t because that's what we know we're finding. We'll take our derivative following the power rule. So the power rule says bring the power down. So 4 times negative 5 gets us negative 20t, subtract 1 from the power. So bring the power down, subtract 1 from the power. Do it again here, bring the 2 down, 2 times 2 gets us 4t, subtracting 1 from the power would get us t to the first. Then we've got an unwritten 1 on that, we would bring that down, 1 times 7 gets us 7. Technically we would get t to the 0, but anything to the 0 power is 1, so we don't need to write that. That would be silly. So from here, now what we want to do is take this acceleration equation we just created and we want to know when does it equal 0. So we would say 0 equals negative 20t to the third plus 4t plus 7. And now we solve that equation for t. Luckily for us, this is on the calculator required section, which means that we can do this work in our calculator, and so we can actually find this answer out pretty quick and easy. What we'll do is we will take this first equation right here, and we're going to plug that into y1 on the calculator. And then in y2 on the calculator, we'll put our second equation. Once we've done that, we will graph these two equations, and then we're going to hit second, calc, and inside the calc menu, we're going to choose the number 5 option, which is intersect. The place where any two equations are equal are where their graphs run into each other because they share a common point. So we can find the answer to this problem quickly and easily using that calc intersect function. So we open up the calculator, go to the y equals in the top left corner. I'm going to type my first equation in, negative 20x, raise it to the third. Anytime you're graphing, you always use x's, no matter if they use t's or not. So then 4x plus 7. And then we want to know when does that equal 0. So y1, y2, then we'll hit the graph button. And I can see where the blue and the red graph are running into each other. That's the intersect that I'm looking for. That's going to be my answer. That's when the acceleration equals 0. So to find that, I hit second, choose the calc menu, which is the button above trace at the very top. And then inside there, I choose the number 5 option, which is intersect. The calculator is then going to ask me a series of 3 questions every single time. The first 2 questions I could really care less about. It's going to say, is that the first curve? Yep, you're on the first curve automatically, so go ahead and just hit enter. It's then going to switch to the second curve automatically for you and say, is that the second curve? Yep, that's the second curve. Go ahead and hit enter. And it's the third question here, the guess, that really matters. What you want to do with the guess is you just want to point the calculator towards the intersect you want it to find. You're not going to influence the answer, but it's just telling the calculator where to go look. So I'm just going to scroll a little bit to the right so I'm close to where my intersection is happening. I hit enter a third and final time, and I'll know I did it all right because it will say the word intersection at the bottom of the screen, and then the X value that comes out of there, that's the X value that I'm looking for. On the AP Calc test, they generally round everything to 3 decimal places, so this would be X equals 0.799. So out of there, we got X equals 0.799, and that would have been option C. Thanks for watching my video. If you liked it, please click that like button and subscribe. And also share it with your friends and anyone else you know who might be crying about an upcoming AP Calc test. You can find more videos from me, more sample AP Calc questions, and my complete AP Calc study guide over at my website, apcalcprep.com. Have a great one.